Hello, Professor Sohal. First of all, I'm Kim, and I'm on my fourth semester here as an undergraduate student of Amrik Business School. First of all, thank you so much for having the time to have this interview with us. It's such an honor to have you.
My pleasure.
First of all, how has your experience been in Unpad? What's your impression on our campus environment and the enthusiasm of our students?
When I arrived on campus at 9 a.m. today, and the very first thing I did was have a tour of the campus. And I was very impressed with how beautiful your campus is, and the greenery, and the fountain here, and all the lovely buildings and so on. So, as I said in my lecture at the end, that you're very fortunate to be studying here on this very beautiful campus. It's a lovely place to learn and to socialize with students, and to also be involved in many sporting activities. So we have lots of sporting activities as well.
Thank you so much. Is there a project you have here in Indonesia? If so, what are your projects now, and what are your projects in the future?
I've had a number of projects here in Indonesia. Over the last nearly 30 years at Monash, I have supervised a number of PhD students from Indonesia. So I have maintained contact with those students over the many years. So in fact, one of the students is now vice rector at Institute of Technology Surabaya. And two students here in Bandung, one at ITB and one from Mumbai. So I have been doing some research with some of them over the last 30 years. So some of the projects that I have worked on previously related to Indonesia was around the time of COVID-19, looking at the health system here and the health supply chain, and how the system and the health supply chain coped with the situation relating to COVID-19. So that was very interesting project. We had some funding provided to one of the schemes in Australia, and we have a paper report published as well. So that's been one way of there, helping to improve the healthcare system. My most recent project I was working on last week is looking at the athletic footwear industry. So some of the big brands, such as Nike, they have lots of factories here that make athletic footwear. And one of the big problems those factories is waste of materials. So a huge amount of waste is produced, and we don't want to send that waste to landfill. And what we're looking at is how can the waste be turned into value? Okay? Turning waste into value by reprocessing those materials to make some new products that can be used. So really keeping all the materials in circulation as long as we can, and that's what we refer to as a circular economy. So my research relates to transitioning from a linear economy to a circular economy, and one of the industries we're looking at is the athletic footwear industry.
Thank you so much for your answer. And you were talking about your activities in Monash School. How do students prepare for a doctoral degree in Monash, and how do we achieve doctoral degree there in Monash University?
So you're doing a bachelor's degree at the moment? Yes?
Yeah.
So I would recommend that you carry on and maybe complete a master's degree here and study hard, get very high grades. Because Monash University is a very good university, very highly ranked, not only in Australia but globally. Monash is now ranked in the top 40 universities. So getting entry to Monash is quite difficult. But if you qualify, then you can qualify to get a scholarship for 3.5 years to do your PhD. So what I recommend you and your fellow students, if you're interested in coming to Monash to do a PhD, to finish your bachelor's, finish your master's. Although we are also launching a new program, which is a combined master's and PhD program. So it's a 5-year program, so you can enter into the program, enroll initially in a master's degree, and if you do really well, you automatically switch into a PhD program. But study hard, do your small projects that you do. Or if you're a master's student, if you do a big project as a part of your master's degree, I recommend strongly that you try and, even the local magazine or the local journal, you try and publish your projects to demonstrate to others that, you collected data, you apply the right methodology, you analyze the data in the right way, and you can make sense of what you found. And based on all of that, you can make some sensible recommendations. So try and write a small article if you can. So to guarantee entry to a PhD program at a good university, not only in Monash but elsewhere, is to study hard, do your bachelor's, maybe do your master's, but at the same time, whatever research projects you do, try and publish them as short articles in a local journal, or even try to publish with your professor in an international journal.
Thank you so much. Moving on for our last question. Regarding your very insightful presentation, which is what a great presentation by the way, about sustainable agricultural supply chains. What from your perspective, what is the most challenging obstacles developing countries have to face to try to connect the local farmers, from local farmers to sustainable markets?
I think the biggest challenge that we have, especially in some of the remote areas, where farmers, I think, from writing right here, I'm right in saying that even in Indonesia, that many of those farmers in the remote areas are not well trained. They don't understand issues around sustainability, or they don't understand the whole supply chain. So our first job really is to educate those farmers more than they are, to get them to understand the part of a very important supply chain. Because if the farmers didn't do anything, in the food industry, we will all starve. We won't have any food to eat. So we need to give farmers more respect, give them more status, and make sure they understand themselves the value of what they do and the important role they play in the whole supply chain. We have failed to do that. We don't treat our farmers respectfully and give them the status that they deserve, because they do a very, very important job. So I think education and training of farmers, not only about the important job that they do, but training them about doing everything that they do, doing it more sustainably.
Thank you so much. So that's all for us. That's give us a lot to think about, that's so very insightful. Thank you for your time, and we hope you have a good time rest here in Indonesia.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much.